Okay, good afternoon. There's a rainy Sunday and there's no scuba diving today. So, I decided to start a live stream and I would like to talk about the question. This is obviously a while of contact lenses, and I would like to talk about the question, can you scuba dive with contact lenses? And the answer is yes. So, I'd like to talk about my experience scuba diving with contact lenses. Now, as you can obviously see, I'm wearing glasses. I'm fairly short-sighted. I think I'm short-sighted in a literal way, not in an allegorical way. And my grade is -3 and -5, so I'm really short-sighted. It's not an option for me to go scuba diving without glasses. If you're just short-sighted a little bit, the magnification of the water will probably compensate for that. But I need to wear either lenses in my mask, which I did initially when I was scuba diving, or I need to wear contact lenses. Now, why do I prefer to have contact lenses? When you are on a boat and the lenses are in your mask, you have to wear your proper and normal glasses, and in order to be able to find your way around on the boat. And then at one point, you have to take these off. You have to give them to somebody. You have to bring them on a dive, and then you have to wear your mask with the glasses. It's a bit complicated. Now, with one exception, I never had problems with contact lenses. What happened during this exception? I did a tick dive that was a really long tick dive, and the tick dive led me to, I believe, 80 meters. That was in Malapascua in the Philippines, and it was on Trimix. It was obviously a long dive. We had something like 20 minutes of bottom time and about an hour of ascent. During that time, my mask was properly defogged. There was no need to ever clear my mask. I didn't have a beard at this point, so there was no leak. So the air in that compartment around my eyes got actually really dry. And then, I was probably slightly dehydrated. It was hot in the tropics. I was drinking quite a bit of coffee. My eyes were really dry. And then one contact lens actually popped out halfway through the dive. And obviously you can't, grab it and put a new contact lens in. So I lost the contact lens during a long dive where there was no water whatsoever getting into my eyes. Now, is it possible, on a conventional recreational scuba dive, which is shorter, where I might just sometimes maybe to clear out the mask because there's a little bit of a leak, clear my mask? I've never had any difficulties. Now, I still occasionally teach scuba diving. And when I teach the open water course, obviously you need to demonstrate all of these skills which are related to mask clearing and mask removal and replacement. So then I take off my mask. I do this in the ocean and I do this in the pool. It's no problem at all for me when I do that to open my eyes with contact lenses in my eyes. So of these little lenses, obviously, I don't think you can see them really well. Oops. With these little lenses, the surface tension sticks them to my eyes in such a tight manner that there's no chance for them coming off. So, neither the seawater nor the pool water has ever done that to me, that I would open my eyes underwater and that I would lose my lens. And in fact, particularly when I'm in the ocean and when I'm demonstrating mask removal and replacement, or, clearing the mask, I really want to keep my eyes open. I want to, every single second see my scuba diving students. So no problem at all. If you read the PADI manual for the open water course, which I think is a really good manual, but it says if you're doing this mask clearing or mask removal and replacement skills, you can, and you're wearing contact lenses, you can close your eyes underwater. So for me personally, that's not necessary. Now, I should really point out two things. There should be a disclaimer, right? I shouldn't say that I'm not a doctor because I am a doctor, but I'm a doctor of zoology, but I'm not a medical doctor, and I'm definitely not an eye doctor. And the other thing which is important to point out is that everybody's different, right? Everybody, people will have different a different degree of dry eyes, or maybe different curvature in their eyes. So maybe some people will lose their contact lenses when they open their eyes underwater. Again, for me, in about 20 years of diving with contacts, this has never ever happened. And yes, I should point out these are soft contact lenses. These are the type which I'm using for a month, and then I'm discarding them. I'm getting a new pair. Now, I want to point out one more thing, which should be interesting. And maybe if she's watching this at some point past, when the live stream is being replayed, thank you to my doctor, Dr. Francis Yap, who gave me some very good advice here. Now, I'm not that old. I'm 50 years old, so there's a slight degradation of my sight when I'm reading something that's close to me, like the display of a dive computer. And for dive computers, it actually works quite well still. My eyes still work quite well, but for a camera where there are lots of little pieces of information on the display, sometimes it doesn't work too well. I can't see that too well. So this is a odd effect, because that only happens to me with contact lenses, not with glasses. Now, what do? I bring a magnifying glass, essentially. So I have this specific magnifying glass which fits on the back of the camera, and with that magnifying glass, I can see the screen really well, even without even with my contact lenses in. Now, the alternatives to this, you can essentially stick little reading glasses, as corrective lenses for nearsightedness. I'm sorry, for farsightedness, on your scuba mask. And I have friends, who are in the same age group as me, who are doing this, and they're quite successful with this. And the third option is you can actually bring a regular magnifying glass. I have another friend who is in his 50s who is doing this. So this is just like a big round magnifying glass with a handle, and that works both for reading your camera settings, and that also works for finding tiny frogfish or shrimp, the kind of things you see while you're muck diving. So let me summarize. Contact lenses during diving, no problem. Works perfectly. For me, and that might be different for others, it works while I'm opening my eyes underwater, both in the pool as well as in the ocean. And if your contact lenses make you, a little bit farsighted because you're suffering from, old man or old woman eyes, then bring a magnifying glass. So I hope that was useful advice. I'm probably going to be online again with a live stream on Friday, always in the late afternoon. And don't be shy, ask questions, post them in the comments, and see you soon.